friends, I am Arpit and now I am here with the fourth part of Yojana analysis for the month of February 2025. Now, in the first three parts, we've covered these following topics. In the first part, we covered PM Kusum and India's energy security, where we talked about adoption of renewable energy more and more. In the second part, we talked about Indian carbon markets, where we talked about the carbon credit trading scheme, which is an upgraded version of the performance achieve and trade scheme, and smart cities mission, where we are talking about those 100 cities which have been selected and how they are adopting sustainable smart solutions for the conservation of the environment and reducing carbon emissions. In the third part, we are dealing with scope and opportunities for renewable energy in rural India, where maximum of India's population lives, and for the mass adoption of renewable energy, diffusion of renewable energy or adoption of renewable energy in the rural areas of India is very important. Then we talked about green hydrogen, where this can be a game changer for India, and the National Green Hydrogen Mission, which aims to make India as a global hub for green hydrogen by 2030. Now, in this segment, we will be dealing with two topics. The first is biofuels as a promising substitute for high carbon energy source. So, biofuels is any fuel which is made from flora or fauna. In this case of India, we are using the agricultural residue to make a biofuel. These biofuels are blended with petrol or diesels. The ultimate, I would say, gain is that import of these, petroleum products reduces. Second, emissions also reduce from the blended fuels. So this is what the benefits of biofuels are. As of now, we are having this national biofuels policy, which we will be discussing as well. Then last topic, Pragati, driving India's development with purpose. We will be discussing this as well, and this is all about governance and service delivery by the people, by the government, sorry. Now, biofuels as a promising substitute for high carbon energy source. This is the first topic which we are dealing with. Biofuels, what it is, I've told you. And demand for energy is increasing day by day, but fossil fuels are no longer sustainable due to their environmental impact. So we need alternate sources, and one such alternate source is biofuels. Biofuels can be obtained from either flora or fauna, any living organism. That is why the word bio is used. Now, the national policy on biofuels in 2018 was launched. It aims to enhance biofuel generation and create a sustainable biofuel ecosystem in our country. Jatropha curcas, a non-edible feedstock, is identified as a key source for biodiesel production. Biodiesel is that biofuel which is blended in diesel. And on the other hand, we have other biofuels which can be blended in petrol. So, this is what we need to understand. Biofuels, what are they? They are renewable fuels made from biomass. Biomass means any entity having carbon content, and carbon content is found in the flora and fauna. They can be used in transportation, heat generation or power generation. Most common biofuels are ethanol and biodiesel. Ethanol is blended in petrol, and this is obtained from the agricultural residue, whereas on the other hand, biodiesel is obtained from Jatropha. We saw that just now. Now, what do they offer? They offer environmental benefits, as the emissions by burning blended fuels are less. Second, they help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Biofuels contribute to sustainable development, reduce dependence on fossil fuels, and enhance national energy security as well, because in case of India, it will be reducing its dependence upon the oil imports. So this is also another benefit of it. Now, advantages of biofuels: foreign exchange savings will be there, because if we are, according to the national biofuels policy, by 2025, we have to do 20% blending of petrol by ethanol. Means if you are going to buy 1 liter of petrol, you will be getting 800 ml of petrol in that and 200 ml of ethanol in that. As a result, you save on 20%. and India imports 85% of its oil. So you save on foreign exchange earns. That is what it means. Reduced environmental pollution will be there as emissions are less from blended fuels. Promotion of Make in India campaign can be done because we are indigenously making ethanol. Improved waste management can be done as agricultural residue is used for producing ethanol. Obviously, that waste management is done. Better remuneration for farmers because they can sell that agricultural residue as well, which they burn, and when they burn, they cause a lot of pollution in cities like Delhi NCR. And reduce dependence on crude oil imports because 20% reduction will be there, talking about the national biofuel policy targets. So these are some benefits of biofuels. Now the need for alternative energy sources. Access to affordable and clean energy is essential for health, development and well-being of humans as well as the nature. Conventional energy sources, especially fossil fuels, harm the environment. There is a growing need for alternative energy sources to address climate change, biodiversity loss and the rising pollution levels in the country as well as the world. Now talking about biofuels in India. So India's biofuels initiatives began in 2003, focusing on molasses for bioethanol and non-edible oils for biodiesel. Challenges in biofuel production were inconsistent production was there, high cost was there, limited land availability and selection of feedstock was a bit questionable. So overall production of ethanol, or I would say biofuels, was not that great, and we could not rely upon that to form some, I would say, a foolproof policy. A coherent policy with a long-term vision is needed to sustain India's biofuel efforts, offering benefits like energy security, economic growth and a higher quality of life. Household energy and biofuels. So we've been talking about ethanol and all, but yes, if I talk about biogas, that is also a biofuel, and we can use that for our domestic purposes. Household energy is crucial for health and well-being. Unaffordable or inadequate access to energy can have adverse consequences. Like if the females in the rural areas specifically, they are using the traditional chulas, they are burning wood or they are burning cow dung and cooking food, then there is a lot of indoor pollution, and that indoor pollution affects the health of not only that woman but the children also there in the house. So that causes a lot of respiratory problems among them. So clean cooking fuel is very important. So Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana is there for providing subsidies on LPGs, but apart from it, biogas is also considered to be a source of clean cooking fuel. Biofuels can provide a viable solution for household energy needs, offering social benefits and environmental benefits as well. Now Jatropha curcas. This is basically a source for making biodiesel. It is a non-edible oil seed identified as a suitable feedstock for biodiesel production in India. Thankfully, it is non-edible. If it would have been edible, then there is another debate which is going on with respect to biofuels. That you grow food for consumption or you grow food for making biofuels. What do you choose? Now, there was always a dilemma what to do. Now, in this scenario, since this is non-edible, so this debate is settled. But there is another parallel debate which is going on, that you are utilizing some land to grow. Let's suppose Jatropha curcas. What if you could utilize that land to grow some food crops that could contribute in the food security of the country? The food security versus energy security, that debate is, I would say, at the core of biofuels production and usage. And this is not only limited to India, this debate, but it is all over the world. So advantages of Jatropha: it can grow in arid zones and degraded lands, resistant to pests and diseases, it attracts pollinators, sequesters carbon, it is a carbon sequester as well, and provides valuable byproducts. So this is what the advantage of Jatropha curcas is. But yes, it is non-edible, that is fine, but it will use land to grow. There comes this debate, food security versus energy security. National policy of biofuels. NBP 2018 aims to increase biofuel production and establish a suitable biofuel ecosystem in India. This is what the ultimate aim is. And I would say one more ultimate aim is that by 2025 achieve 20% blending of petrol by biofuels like ethanol and 5% blending of diesel by biodiesels. Government aims to meet 20% of India's diesel demand using biofuel, which will require significant land resources, major investments. NBP 2022 amendment advances the target for achieving 20% bioethanol blending in petrol to 2025-26, that is this fiscal, and expanded the range of eligible feedstocks. So this is there, but yes, there are multiple challenges and there are multiple opportunities also in this domain. Challenges: there is need for research and development, so that needs to be done. Technology transfer to improve biofuel production, that needs to be done. We can take technology from countries like Brazil and USA. So Brazil, USA and India collectively are the founding members of the Global Biofuels Alliance, which was launched during India's presidency of the G20 in 2023. Mainstreaming biofuel adoption, that is a challenge as of now because ethanol or biofuel production is intermittent as of now. Promoting sustainable production practices, how this happens, let us, this will happen with time, or this we'll get to know with time, but yes, we need to adopt sustainable practices. Opportunities in front of India: reducing greenhouse gas emissions, that has to be done. Improving air quality, that can be done with this. And promoting rural development also can be done because the farmers can increase their incomes by generating crops which are necessary for generating or producing biofuels. And they can also sell off their agricultural residue which they burn. They can earn money out of it. So yes, adopting biofuels definitely is very important for India's energy security. It will not only reduce the imports of India and save forex for India, but yes, it will reduce the carbon emissions also. It will increase the incomes of the farmers as well. So it is a win-win, I would say, situation for everyone or every stakeholder. But yes, that debate, food security versus energy security, that has to be tackled tactfully. Now the last topic, that is Pragati, driving India's development with purpose. So Pragati stands for Proactive Governance and Timely Implementation Initiative. This is all about governance. Governance is all about service delivery, and that too timely service delivery. That is what we need to know and understand about this Pragati. It has played a significant role in accelerating infrastructure development and improving governance in India. It was launched in 2015. Pragati follows the minimum government, maximum governance approach using technology and collaboration to speed up progress and reduce the delays. Key features: it focuses on collaboration, transparency and technology to ensure efficient project management and timely implementation. Some of its key achievements include 340 stalled projects worth 17.05 lakh crore, means $205 billion have been reviewed since its launch. Significant reduction in delays and improved completion timelines. Streamlined environmental and forest clearances, reducing approval timelines. Environmental clearance approval time dropped from 600 days to 70 to 75 days. Forest clearance approval time dropped from 300 days to 20 to 29 days. That is a substantial reduction. There is improved grievance redressal mechanisms such as CP grams and reduced passport issuance times as well. So all these things have streamlined service delivery, and this is the ultimate aim of the Pragati. Impact on key projects. So first, Bogibeel Rail and Road Bridge completed in 3 years after over 2 decades of delays. Jammu Srinagar Baramulla Rail Link on track for completion by 2025, overcoming years of stagnation. Navi Mumbai Airport resolved land acquisition hurdles, set for launch by December 2024, and I think almost it is launched. Bengaluru Metro Rail expedited land acquisition for phase 1, enabling the metro's launch in 2017. Bengaluru's traffic is quite congested, so there it was needed. Then Haridaspur Paradeep rail connection resolved funding and land acquisition issues, leading to inauguration of the rail line in 2020. The Hisar Surat section, National Highway 8, enabled progress on the service road with safeguards for wildlife and compensation for landowners. And Varanasi Aurangabad section, National Highway 2, addressed land record challenges, speeding up the project's completion. So a lot of major infrastructure projects have been expedited under Pragati, and that is what is needed for our country if we have to become a developed country by 2047. Now, leadership and governance, Pragati has created a culture of transparency and responsiveness within the government. Key aspects: use of real-time data and proactive problem solving is there, and promotion of cooperative federalism, means federalism between or cooperation between the center and the states, among the states, and if the cooperation is needed between the state and the urban local bodies or rural bodies, that is also covered in this. So it aims to promote that as well. Influence on other schemes. Pragati's success has driven technology adoption in several other important government schemes, which include Swachh Bharat Mission, built 12 crore toilets and created ODF, means open defecation free villages. Jal Jeevan Mission, which aims to provide piped drinking water to every rural household. So increased tap water access for rural households from 17% in 2019 to 74% in February 2024. Its target year for completion was 2024, but unfortunately it was not able to complete by then. Then the Saubhagya scheme achieved universal electrification under it. Vibrant Villages program transformed 46 northeast villages into India's first villages. So we are calling them not the last villages of India, but the first villages from the borders. So social and economic infrastructure is built over there in those villages. Lighthouse projects promotes innovation in housing construction with digitized technology. And Swamitva initiative enabled legal ownership records for rural residents using the drone technology. So land reforms, kind of part of land reforms it is. Now, global benchmark for governance. Pragati has set a global benchmark for governance. Transparency, accountability and efficiency in project implementation it has brought into. The use of technology like drone feeds and GPS tracking for real-time data collection and quick decision making is done. Digital dashboard approach for enhanced project oversight across sectors is pursued. Fostered public participation through a robust feedback loop, allowing citizens to directly influence governance. So all this is undertaken under Pragati, and Pragati means speed. So speeding up of infrastructure projects, especially the stalled ones, was needed for the country, because these stalled projects not only have blocked the money, but it is not giving the intended output which it intends to. ऐसे नहीं बनेंगे हम विकसित भारत. We have to do these kind of things. We have to declutter the I would say projects and enable, I would say, streamlined implementation of the projects. So here we come to an end of this part of Yojana, and with this this month of Yojana analysis is complete. I will be meeting you in the next month now with the next month's edition, and in the meantime I am meeting you daily for daily analysis videos. So keep watching and keep posting your doubts as well. We'll be responding them, and you guys very well know what to do. Keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Namaste, Jai Hind, take care. See you next month with next month's Yojana analysis.